My name is Sarah. I never thought my marriage would turn into a mystery. My husband, Daniel, was always kind, caring, and calm. We had a simple, peaceful life together. He worked long hours at the office, and I stayed at home, taking care of everything. Our life wasn't perfect, but it was comfortable. I trusted him completely, and I believed he trusted me too. Everything felt normal, stable, and quiet. I never had a reason to doubt him until one night changed everything. It was past midnight when his phone suddenly rang. The sound broke the silence of the room. I slowly opened my eyes in the dark. Daniel was sleeping beside me. The phone kept ringing again and again. I reached over and looked at the screen. It was an unknown number. For a moment, I hesitated, feeling uneasy. Something didn't feel right at all. But the ringing wouldn't stop, so I picked it up. "Hello?" I whispered softly, trying not to wake him. There was silence for a few seconds. Then I heard a woman's voice. It was weak, emotional, and trembling with pain. "Daniel, please don't ignore me anymore," she said. "I need you." My heart suddenly started beating faster. I sat up straight in shock. "Who is this?" I asked, my voice shaking. The woman went completely silent. A second later, the call ended. I slowly turned and looked at Daniel again. He was still lying there, eyes closed, breathing normally, or maybe pretending to sleep. I couldn't tell anymore, but something inside me had already started to break. The next morning, I couldn't stay quiet anymore. While we were having breakfast, I looked at him carefully. "Your phone rang last night," I said. "A woman was calling you." For a brief moment, he looked surprised, but it disappeared quickly from his face. "It must be a wrong number," he said calmly, without even looking at me. I nodded slowly, but deep inside, I knew something was wrong. That voice didn't sound like a mistake. It sounded personal, emotional, and real. I couldn't ignore it. Days passed, but I couldn't forget that call. That voice stayed in my mind constantly. The way she said his name felt too real. So I started noticing small things. Daniel began coming home later than usual. Sometimes he would smile while looking at his phone. Other times he would quickly lock it when I came near. He even started stepping out of the room to answer calls. Each small detail added to my growing fear. My mind kept creating painful thoughts. I didn't know what to believe anymore. One evening, everything changed. Daniel went to take a shower. He left his phone on the table without thinking. I stood there, staring at it for a long time. My heart was beating fast. I knew I shouldn't check it, but I couldn't stop myself anymore. My hands were shaking as I finally picked it up. There it was, the same unknown number again. I opened the messages slowly, and in that moment, my heart broke completely. "Why are you ignoring me? You promised you wouldn't leave me like this. I can't do this alone anymore." Tears filled my eyes instantly. My mind started racing with fear and pain. Was he cheating on me? Was everything just a lie? I felt completely lost. When he came out of the shower, I was still holding his phone. "Who is she?" I asked, my voice shaking but firm. He froze immediately. For the first time, I saw fear on his face. "Answer me," I said again, stronger this time. He slowly sat down, avoiding my eyes. The silence in the room felt heavy and painful. Then, finally, he spoke. "She's my sister." I was shocked and confused. "Your sister?" I asked again. He nodded slowly, still looking down.
"I never told you about her," he said quietly. "We had a big fight years ago. I left home in anger and I never went back. She tried to contact me many times, but I ignored her every time. I couldn't say anything. I just listened in silence. She's very sick now," he said, his voice breaking, "and she has no one else. She's been trying to reach me, but I was too ashamed." Tears rolled down his face. "I felt guilty," he said. "I didn't know how to face her, or how to tell you the truth." Everything suddenly made sense. The calls, the messages, the sadness in that voice. It wasn't betrayal, it was pain and regret. I felt my anger slowly fade away. In its place came something else, deep regret. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked softly. "I was afraid," he whispered, "afraid of my past and my mistakes." That night we sat together in silence, but something between us had changed. The next day we went to meet her together. She was weak and pale, lying in a hospital bed, but when she saw Daniel, her eyes filled with tears, and she smiled. In that moment, I understood everything clearly. Not every secret hides betrayal. Sometimes it hides pain, regret, and unfinished stories.